You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.
Welcome back to AZ-104 series. In this video, we will cover how to configure Azure File Share and Azure Blob storage. Here, we will learn what benefits you get from File Share in Azure Storage, what kind of data you can upload to a container, how many storage tiers we have, what is soft delete for Blob and containers, how to configure snapshots and soft delete for your Azure files. Plus, we will also look at Blob lifecycle management. So let's get started. All right, so now let's check it out, how you can create your file share and upload data in it, and also how to create your container and upload your blobs in it, and then how to access it. So you will go to your storage account, then click on it. Now, under data storage, you will find containers. Now, before you do this, you have to make a change because by default now, the containers are not visible to anyone. It is actually stayed, or it is kept as an archive. So if you go to settings, then configuration, then over here you will click on enable if you want to give access to your container to any anonymous user without credentials. So you save it. Done. Now let's create a container. Add container, give it a name, demo C for container, and now you can make it private. Private means the people who have a proper credential and authorization, they can only see it, otherwise it is private. Then you can say blob. You can give anonymous read access for your blob only. They will not be able to get the container or see all the content of a container, just a specific blob. Or you can say give read access to the whole container. Now, in advance, you can also encrypt the data. Click on create. Now the container is created, it's pretty empty. Now you can upload the content. So I will upload just a random, I will say picture. Yeah, this one. And select a container and upload it. Done, it is uploaded. Now if you open it, you click on it, this is the URL for that picture. And they can see it anonymously. Anyone can see it. That's how you create a container and upload your file and access it. Now, if I go back to my storage account, data storage, and click on file share, this is where you can create file share. So click on plus file share or add file share, give it a name, demo file share, then click next. At this point, I will not create backup, otherwise a backup vault will be created, which will just make it more complex. I will show that later. The backup will be done later. Review it and create. A file share is created. Now upload a file. Done. The file is uploaded. If you go to it, here is your uploaded file. Okay. If you copy it and paste it here, it will not work because it is using SMB protocol. You cannot go from HTTPS. So if you go to your, let's say, machine, which have line of sight to it, then go to Storage Explorer, and then go to this PC, then computer, and add or map network drive. This is where you can go to this location. I will just paste it. Now, if you pay attention, the URL I copied is in HTTPS format. So I have to convert this into SMB format. And the structure or syntax is given here. So I will remove the first header and put backslash to all the forward slash, backslash here, backslash here, and click on connect using different credential, click finish. Now I have to enter username and password. Well, now if this file share was connected to my Enter ID, in that case, I could have used a normal Azure credential I have. I also need permission, that is RBAC permission. Then I can take advantage of SSO, single sign-on. But if you don't have it, well, there is still a username and password for the whole storage account at least, which can authenticate you and also authorize you. So the name of my storage is my username, and the access key is my password. Oh, I cannot do a pin. You cannot open a picture. Picture is not a folder. So only till this point. Password. Yeah, because picture is the actual file. Here it is. So your network drive is now mapped. So this is how you create your container and your file share, and then you access it. Now, instead of doing all this or mapping the drive, I will remove it now, disconnect, okay? You can also use the Azure's method. That is pretty easy. You just go to your file share, click on your file share, and then click connect. And Azure will give you the script according to the platform. I'm using Windows, so I will say show script, copy it, and then go to PowerShell. And run this. Now it will open the connection, then again it will provide the username and password, that is your access key, and establish the connection. Here you go. You have connection again. So both ways you can actually connect. Basically, when you run the script, actually it is still offering the same information. Remember, it will give the local host name, that is RSP demo, and the password is that string which we used. So it's the same thing, it just automated for you. Makes it easier. Now you know multiple ways. Plus, you also remember the same method, that is your Storage Explorer. From here as well, you can connect with your container or file share and then use it. Now, if you go back, okay, this is your container. Again, you can create shared access token from here as well. It's the same SAS key. You can set the property. You can also create access policies. Now, let's go back to our Storage Explorer. And if you go to, not here, data management, you will find all the management services. So here you have data protection. This is where you can enable or disable your Azure backup for Blob. You can create it. Then point in time restore, that means it will take a snapshot of your container. You can enable soft delete. You can enable soft delete for your container. Enable permanent delete for soft deleted items. These are all your data protection policies. Now, you can also enable versioning for your Blob and also enable Blob change feed. So basically, versioning means that if you make a mistake, you can revert back to a stable state. And change feed means it will keep a track of all the changes you made on this blob or container so that you can audit what happened and who did it. Then if you go to lifecycle management, this is where you can create a policy And the policy will dictate how the blob will live and die, literally. So what it means is, imagine you have multiple blobs in hot tier. Hot tier means best performance. Well, that is good, but you're paying a lot of money for that. And what if you're not even using that content or that data? Well, in that case, that blob must be moved to lower tier. And you will not remember this down the line. So what if you create a policy which can automatically move the data or blobs from hot tier to cool tier, and if it is still not being used for a very long time, it can move it from cool to archive, and still after, let's say, 2 years, 3 years, nobody touch it, it can also push a permanent delete or keep it in archive. Now let's say it is in archive and people started using it. Well, then it will be moved to cool tier, and then a lot of people are still accessing it pretty frequently, then it will be moved to hot tier. So this movement of your data from multiple tiers is what lifecycle management is all about. This gives you performance versus cost balance or benefit. So this is just an if and then statement, basically. So you click on add a rule, you name it, and then you apply. Okay. I want to apply it on block blobs and base blobs, not snapshot, not version. Next, this is where you create your rule. So base blobs were last modified means someone used it or changed something. Let's say 30 days ago. So within 30 days, someone changed something, so it will stay on hot. But if it is never touched more than 30 days, then don't delete it. Move it to cool tier. Then one more condition. If, again, touched in 80 days, let's say, then move it to archive. Skip blobs that have been rehydrated in 7 days. So let's say, this is also pretty nice. Now, when it is counting the days you have not touched it and moved it to archive, let's say, and then you actually clicked on that data and you want to access the archival data, well, that data will be rehydrated. Now, it is rehydrated and still the policy is running. Azure is saying, skip all the blobs that have been rehydrated in last 7 days. So don't touch that. Of course, you have 80 and 30 days, so you will increase this time as well. Let's say 50 days or whatever works for your scenario. Then, if again last modified 365 days, then just delete the blob. I don't care. And whatever your conditions are, you just add it, and then the blob have to follow that. This is beneficial to save money and still provide good performance automatically. So I hope now you know how to manage the storage account, how to create file share, how to access it. So a storage account do have many more advanced services, but at your 104 level, this is what you have to practice and create your own environment. So go ahead, make your own sandbox and practice this. All right, so in this video, we covered how to create and configure file share and blob containers, setting up Azure tiers, enabling soft delete. In our case, we disabled it. Plus, we also saw how to configure blob lifecycle management for better balance between performance and cost savings. Up next, we will discuss how to monitor resources in Azure, including logs, metrics, and alerts. So stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.